In this episode, we're going to do a little bit of wiring and we're going to clean up the engine bay. Hopefully in this episode, we'll have the timing belt kit because I need to get this out so I can get the Skyline in to do more work on the Skyline so I can sell it. I'm going to do the power steering line first. That's why we've got the tub there. So we'll swap that over for this one that's on the ground. Just make sure that's all cleaned out. These might be off a different model, like NA. Anyways, they don't really line up much, but they work. Also, I can't get this off. It needs to be mounted, so I need to put a bit of pressure onto it. So once it goes back onto the engine, I'll be able to get that off. I guess I could just break it here. I'm going to move some things around. A bit of length here. Got a bit of length here for the starter. So we'll move that over to here. We'll clean everything up. We need to get the washer bottle back in. This little power box is going to have to move. We might have to change our fuel setup as well. I'm going to have to see how the fuel pressure regulator goes there. Might have to move it across just a little bit, make a little standoff and move it across. Right, found my washer bottle, put that in. I cleaned up some of the wiring. It doesn't look like it, but actually they come out by themselves now. They're not all tangled up. Now we've got the power, obviously the orange one comes from the battery at the back. I don't believe I can get it. I might be able to get it. Yep, actually I've had it over to this wall before, this side. I'll mount that up. This one here needs to be able to reach, so I can't go too far. It goes to the fuse box. Trying to keep this one on top. Goes over to the alternator. So that's a good location around that area. Maybe sit it over this way a bit more, so maybe I'll do something here with the catch cans. I'm not 100% sure just yet with the catch cans. Alright, so I've got the fuse box here. Up here we've got the ignition and the injectors. Down here we've got the flex fuel and power to the ECU. That's all 12 volt switched. Over here, this one will be the GPS speed sensor, so we're going to take that from actual ECU inside. So we'll just blank that off. We've still got a 5 volt and an earth over here. That's okay. Just having a look at the oil pressure sensor and its connector, and it's been melted pretty bad, so I'll have to get one of these. Alright, so I finally clocked the turbo of how I want it, so it's all good. We have flex fuel sensor here. I'm going to have to change the layout for the fuel as well, because that got plenty of -8 for that, so I'll have to work that out once the engine's in. Still need to work out where the fuel pressure regulator will go. It should still be able to go here, maybe, I'm not sure just yet. So I'm going to be using the map sensor wiring to go to the oil pressure, because I'm using the onboard sensor on the Haltech for the pressure now, so we won't need to run this one. So I'm going to run the pressure sensor down here. Pretty much we have the length. I just need to chop it and put it on. Hopefully we have the timing kit tomorrow or the day after. I really want to get this back in. So just making it a little bit more streetable. Can use washers now. Once I get it running, make sure that's all good, we'll clean up the wiring over there as well. Alright, I'm about to do the timing kit, but before I do, I'm going to change over the filter while it's easy to get to. And yeah, we'll get these off. I'll check all the torque specs for all the bolts that need to go in, and then we'll unbox the new timing kit. We'll get that all on. Need to do the oil drain for the turbo, get all that stuff sorted before it goes back into the engine bay. I do need to pick up some more oil, This the cam's called for non-synthetic, so just the cheap nasty stuff. So I'll probably pop out today and get that. I'm just taking the filter off, not taking the sandwich off. Like I said before, I do have the Mishimoto sandwich one for the cooler. I don't have a cooler yet, so we'll have to wait for that. Not 100% sure what I'm going to do there, but yeah, it's going to be a little while. So let's get that filter off. There may or may not be oil in it, and we'll just swap over for another one. I think that's the first time I've been able to get one off by hand, just because it's so easy to get to. The engine's been turned over that many times, it shouldn't have oil in it. It probably will be. A little bit of oil coming out of that. So that's lubed up the seal. Cool. Back on. Alright, so I've got the torque wrench set to 25 Newton meters for these bolts here, and for the tensioner that goes in there. Alright, just realised that on my phone I've only got the single overhead cam, so I'll have to go inside onto the computer and look at my double overhead cam file that I got there for all the torque specs, because the single one doesn't have that idler pulley, that small one. So back in a sec. Alright, I've got the specs now. I don't know why I've got single overhead cam on my phone. It's a workshop manual because I've never owned one. Very, very odd. Anyways, let's get it all on, get it timed, and then we've got a few other things to do. Alright. Tensioner, 5 Newton meters. It's still all set. Put the grenade there. Cool. Alright, all the other idler pulleys are 39 Newton meters for the cogged one here. So normally I'll leave this one off until the belt's all on, and that gives it a bit of tension. Then I'll rotate it with it 4 times around, make sure it's all good, and the tension has taken up the tension. Alright, now we've got the small one. So, like I said before, if you're not sure, just order the long bolt. It's either you'll need it or you won't, and if you don't need it, you'll already have the short bolt. So, with that part number, you'll need the long bolt, which is a 54 millimeter. So there's actually quite a bit of difference. So I had probably 3 threads in the other one. I'll show you. Not much compared to the new one with the 54. There we go. A lot safer. Maybe that's why it's all gummed up. I don't know. Maybe there's a bit of play there. One of the idler pulleys. Both idler lids are the same. Came with an oil seal as well, which I'm not going to use, which is for there. Put that in my little box of goodies. Genuine timing belt. Look at that. I've never actually used a genuine one. Alright, so apparently you're supposed to line up these lines. I don't know. Ooh, it does. Okay, the belt is on. Got to keep the tension. Alright, now I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to take the spark plugs out so there's no pressure there. And then, yeah, I'll turn it over. Alright, spark plugs are out. All of the lines match up with the lines. We are a little bit over on this mark. So let's put these ones out to 3 mil. So I'll spin it around, make sure it's spinning all good, and yeah, we'll put the covers back on. To make everyone happy. Actually, it doesn't matter. I don't need to make everyone happy. Alright, let's get the covers back on. Alright, finally getting one of my new covers on. This one for a while, the other one I haven't got a new one for, but they are available now. When I got this one, that side was not available, so that's just why I've only got one side. So in my next order, I'll have that, and I'll be able to put it in the car. We'll swap it over in the car. Seems easy enough. Alright, so I've got the covers on. I need to get a new one, and I need to get new hardware. I only have one bolt, so we'll get new hardware when we... Alright guys, we've done quite a bit this episode. I ended up swapping over the sensor, so the bung that was there went into there. I've got the oil drain on, and there is a little kink at the top. Let's see if I can push that further on. I'll fix that. And yeah, timing covers are on. Hopefully next episode this will be back in the engine bay. There you go, get some oil. Hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, give it a like. And if you haven't yet, please consider hitting that subscribe button, and I'll catch you next episode. Bye.